I'm told they are here. Share the video, invite others to join in. Yeah, the other friendship will not spoil. It will not be over. I remember when I was spoil our friendship now. But they will not spoil it. Okay. Just let go focus on him. Focus on him. Let's go do that. Hadj Diouf is already dancing in the studio. Let's see what they're doing.
Happy to be in Liberia. What do you want me to
do? It's a different studio today. A hot political studio with different things now going sportive. With some of the biggest stars on the African continent. Yeah, tell you what, every Jesus, yeah, and men dancing to your song. See Bessie, that's my Bessie. Find a friend like me. Okay, let's go to our guests now. We'll come back to this song. This is the song that we carried on. They really seem to be in love with it already. We have with us the man affectionately known as Baby Jet, Asamoah Gyan, born November 22, 1985. Former Ghanaian professional footballer. He could still be doing small things, small practices and all of that.
That's right.
He is married. The last time I checked. I know that you are married, very married too. Your spouse's name is Gifty Gyan, and you have some children, Raphael, Frederick, Floyd, and all of that. But let's say welcome to the OK Conversation.
Thank you.
How does it feel being in Liberia at this time?
For me, I feel great. You know, when you talk about Liberia, you know, as a Ghanaian, we know the relationship we have with Liberia. You know, during the hard times, we were together. We made sure we supported each other. You know, so when I'm in Liberia, I feel like I'm home. You know, so I know.
You still look like you're playing days. You don't seem to have changed a lot.
Yeah, the only changes is I've added a bit of weight.
Yeah.
That is what you can see now.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so yeah, it's part of life. You know, so as I say, Liberia is my home. You know, I've got a lot of Liberian friends back home in Ghana.
Okay.
You know, so me being here, I feel like I'm still in Ghana because the kind of food we eat there, we eat the same thing here. You know, so I feel like home and I'm enjoying the place. I've been here since 2 days, and I feel like I'm home and I'm enjoying myself.
Have you eaten any Liberian dish?
Hey, although I don't even know the name, there is the same thing we eating in Ghana. We eating rice, we eating snails, we eating fish. Yeah. Even today with my brother, we really enjoy ourselves this afternoon. You know, we really enjoy ourselves. So we're even planning to go eat once again.
Okay, sounds very good. Let's go to Hadj Diouf, born January 15, 1981, former Senegalese footballer. Your spouse as well. You are also married, I suppose. A storied career in football. A whole lot of teams you've played for. But bienvenue. Do we say au Liberia or en Liberia? Which one?
Liberia.
Bienvenue.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, but you can speak English, right?
Of course, I try my best.
Okay, so let us do the English version. How does it feel being here?
It's always a pleasure to be here, to come to see Liberian people, but obviously to see the King George, Mr. President.
King George.
So we all have a lot of respect about him because if we make it today to be footballer, to be professional footballer because of him, that's why for us to come here, it's always a pleasure because we all have something to come from George Weah.
Very, very. Let me. You. Did he inspire you in any way? You really seem to be in awe of George. You are already calling him King George. That's how all of you refer to him. What does he mean to you?
It's our inspiration. I remember when I was at the village back in the day, watching TV. It was hard because we used to have black and white TV, not a color TV, and we used to see King George doing very well, and everyone wanted to be that time to be Liberian and to be very proud to be Africans. That's why I say to be here and to come here, we have to as a footballer, each footballer have to come here each year, every year for one thing, to do the pelerinage, like we say, because of King George.
You are saying that every year footballers have to try to come to Liberia to pay homage to him?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes, because if we make it, if everyone want to be, until right now, who doesn't want Ballon d'Or, European Ballon d'Or? It's only him. We try, we did everything.
But I can remember, you try.
It's still, I was number 7, but it's still only him to win it. We don't know how, but I call him the son of God. What did God do for his life?
You call him the son of God. Well, let us come to Asamoah Gyan. You are also inspired by George Weah. Tell us the George Weah story.
George Weah has been one of our inspiration, as my brother said. Growing up, I always say he's my favorite footballer of all time. Talking about the only player who has won the Ballon d'Or ever, and the time he won it, that is 1995 when I was a kid. I was like 10 years. It was undisputed, and that time he was even the face of Liberia. When you talk about Liberia, with all due respect to anybody, but he was the face of Liberia, so we always look up to him growing up. And the most interesting thing is, I met him in Ghana, and then he told me he was a big fan of me. That day, I couldn't sleep. Somebody we've been admiring since our infancy, and anytime he scores, you remember that time Liberia was playing their home games in Ghana. Anytime Liberia was playing, I was at the stadium at that time. So he seeing me and telling me he was a big fan. I was like, oh my God. So I started calling my friends and telling everybody. That day, I was on top of the world, So we've been here. It's a great honor, to support the event that is happening, Supporting an event. He called me personally. I think he called my brother also personally. I say, listen, because we are supporting your event, don't worry, we are coming to support you. We will pay our ticket, we will pay our hotel and everything.
Did you buy your own ticket? And
definitely, we need to support a brother, and an inspiration and everything. So me and my brother, we are here to support. All the African legends are also here. We are here to represent Liberia, and of course, a man that we adore when we were little, So it's a great pleasure to be here.
Now, let me remain with you before I go to Diouf. Talking about this event, Sports Park, I don't know if you've seen it. I have seen it, and I think it looks beautiful. I was in the UK for some time, and I know what I saw there. And so I think this is beautiful. I don't know if you've gone there to do the initial sightseeing yet. But what do you think it will mean for young people, for children, and all of that coming up?
Oh, it's an inspiration for all the people coming up, to have a great president who is trying to help his people. I'm sure he's not going to be the president forever. There are a lot of kids at the university who will be president one day. There are a lot of kids coming from different places that are looking up to him, the good things he's doing. And I'm sure they're going to continue his legacy. And he's been an inspiration to us as well. And even if we go to our country, we being the icon in our country, definitely we also pick something from it. And not forgetting, he's somebody who opened the way for we, the football players, knowing that there is a hope.
Mhm.
Because in my life, I've never seen a great footballer like his caliber being a president. You know, so he gave me hope. I think he gave my brother hope. He gave everybody footballers hope to have that ambition that you can still do it. Because when we were little, people thought we were illiterate, we couldn't do anything, we don't know anything about book. But King George, the president of Liberia, I don't see him as the football player. I see him as a president of Liberia right now. He's done a lot, and he's giving everybody hope that everything is possible in this world. And this is what he's doing for his country, and he's helping a lot of people, and we are here to support him.
Let us go to Diouf. Our president, George Weah, got this inspiration, I think, from Senegal, your country. I think he said he saw his post back there, and he was like, I have to do something like this back home. What do you think? What does it mean?
Everyone know how King George, the president, is too close to our president Macky Sall. You know, they talk. I know they can talk every day on the phone. And Macky is a good inspiration as well. We're talking about all Africa. Macky Sall, our president, is one of the best presidents in the world. I know him personally. Before he became president, he do a lot for the country. He take over after all ministry of our countries. And George and Mr. George, the president, and Macky Sall, they so close. And I think so they got the same mentality as well. Is to do a lot for, not for themselves, for the country. If you come to Senegal, you see we got today. We have everything. We have everything. My brother been here so far. He came here. My brother too. In Senegal, we got everything. And George wanted the same thing. That's why he's so close to Macky Sall, because they want only one thing, the best for his own people. You know, like what my brother say again. After my career, I'm involved in politics. I'm a goodwill ambassador.
You are a goodwill ambassador. You are also advisor to the president, I think, on sports.
I'm a goodwill ambassador from the government and personal advisor to the president. And one day I got my own movement, political movement. And I got a lot of people. I got some people to work for me in the country. But why not tomorrow to become president? Because aspiration of Mr. George Weah. You know, we want only one thing. After football, Mr. George will show everyone. Before, everyone used to think footballers only can play football and after they them. You know, and now Mr. King George, what he did, it's unbelievable. You can be footballers, basketball, sportman, and after take your own responsibility. Why? We know if George can stay in USA or France, Paris, living there, having good life, but he don't do it. He came here to help him his own people, and that's unbelievable. That's why people like us, it was our inspiration when we was young as a footballer. Today it's gonna be inspiration for all the people to want to do politics as well. But we're talking about good politics, working for your own people, doing what he did right now, infrastructure, and we are here to help him and to talk to this young generation. He got all this thing about because of one thing: you have to believe yourself, and you have to love your country. And when George used to play football, he was so close to the people. That's why today the people give him everything. He's not only the president of Liberia. He's a president of Liberia, definitely, but he's a president of all footballers as well.
The president of all footballers as well. Very, very impressive there. Let me take you people back before we come back to this program. So let us come to you. You've played all over. The World Cup 2010 perhaps made you perhaps the most famous footballer in that tournament because of the game against Uruguay, and we were all watching you, and I'm now seeing the man I was watching on TV. When Luis Suarez handled the ball and you had to just put the penalty in Asamoah Gyan. What happened there? What went wrong?
You know, I think it was destined to be like that, you know, because I remember in that tournament I was in the top shape of my life. You know, I think that was my best year in my professional football career in 2010. You know, everything was going right. I scored in the first game through a penalty.
Yeah.
Second game through a penalty. You know, quarterfinals I had to score again, and then so my confidence was like 100%. I was on top of the world. So going to that penalty against Uruguay, I was so confident. I knew I would have scored easily because I was on. I'm a striker, and when a striker has the confidence, he can do anything at any time. So there was no panic, there was nothing, But I think on that day it was destined to be like that, because when you watch the penalty that go that high, I've never shot a penalty that has gone that high, And till now I'm still thinking about it. How did my penalty go high? Because I always put it on the ground and everything, but on that very day, my penalty went high. So I feel like it was destined to happen.
Did it affect you in any way?
I have to live with it to the rest of my life. Sometimes when I'm alone in the room, it just popped into my head. And I feel like sometimes I want God to rewind the days back. For me to shoot it again. But it has happened, so you have to just live with it. Sometimes my friends, they used to tease me with that. And after they just encourage me with that. So it's something, as you said, it's something that had made me famous, sometimes on that day in a negative way, but also in a positive way.
Baby jet.
Yeah, so it has opened the doors for me, and sometimes I go to different countries that they know nothing about football. But on that very day, they saw it. So when they see me, they don't know me anywhere. But when you say, "Oh, the guy who missed that penalty," they'll be like, "Oh, is that him? Oh, okay." So, but he's a very good player, So the negative starts, and then you get a positive in return. I got a lot of opportunities through. I think it's a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise. Where did you get the baby jet name from?
Yeah, it was given to me by one journalist in Ghana called Dangwe Kuibwa. When I was little, my face looked like a baby, So people do call me baby. That was my name where I grew up. Everybody called me baby. So when I made my debut in 2003,
and you started playing for the national team at age 17, 3 days to your birthday.
Yes, in 2003.
Yeah.
November 16th. So, the way I was running, my pace and everything, I was fast. When I take off, it was like a jet, And then everybody knew me as baby, So because of my pace and everything, he just added a jet to it. So he always called me baby jet has landed, So every time I score, he said, "Oh, the baby jet has landed." And then baby jet. And one day, when you are playing, you don't listen to commentary, definitely. Sometimes you have to come home and then listen. So when I listened, he was calling me, "Oh, the baby jet has landed." So that was like, okay.
And then everybody just started calling you baby jet. I see. Before I come to Diouf, this year, because of the poor performance of Ghana at the African Cup, people felt you didn't have a chance against Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup. Where were you in the second leg, and how were you watching, whether it was a television or the game live?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to congratulate my country for the qualification, because it wasn't easy, for what they've been through from the African Cup of Nations. We went out in the first round and people were surprised, so just imagine the pressure, going into the game against Nigeria, another giant, so I think they have to be congratulated for that, because kudos to them. They did what they had to do. They were strong mentally going into that game. They prepared physically and mentally, thinking a team like Nigeria, they are giants. And psychologically, we beat them. When you check the history of Ghana, we've beaten them more than they've beaten us. So they have a lot of things going into that game. And then that rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria.
Yeah, bitter rivals. Yeah.
It's a good rivalry. We love each other. We love each other so much, but that rivalry is there. They don't want us to beat them in anything, even when it comes to food, when it comes to music. They don't want us to beat them. So it's like that. It's a very good rivalry. You can see Ghana and Nigeria supporting themselves, each other. But at the end of the day, it was a great game. We were destined to qualify. Just check the results. It was 0-0. In Kumasi, and then it was 1-1 in Nigeria.
So that was really tight.
You understand? So we were destined to qualify, and kudos to the Black Stars, and kudos to the GFA, everybody who is involved. Samuel Enimado, I remember he's my manager. He went to the Kumasi. begging people to come to the stadium to come watch the game, because people were upset. So I think they all did what they had to do for the team to qualify. So kudos to them.
Diouf, you had a storied career with Senegal as well. You tried your best. You couldn't, I think, win the African Cup. Where Cameroon was always breathing down your necks.
He was with the team when they won the cup. He was with the team.
Okay. Yeah. Now, first of all, that World Cup run, beating, was it France? It was 2002,
yes.
Right? Yeah, and everybody thought, wow, the Teranga Lions are really doing something in this World Cup, and you are one of the stars of the show.
Because of that, from a long time, Senegal, nobody heard Senegal about football because we're talking about like Ghana before, Nigeria, and Senegal was a small country with on football. And, we very lucky to have a good generation, myself, Tony Silva, Ari Kamara, Fadiga, and we just like a meeting one day in Paris to say why we not go all to the national team and try to go to the African nation. We just want to go to the African Nation Cup. And we choose our own coach as well, Bruno Metsu. We did everything. From day one, we did everything. We have a meeting in Paris, do everything and say, let's go. We came, and for that year, is the first time they do the qualification for the first going to the World Cup and the first and second going to the African Nation Cup. And we have a tough group at that time. Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Senegal, and Namibia. And we finished first, and I was a top scorer. We scored 14 goals. For the 14 goals, I scored 11. And that where my name coming from in Africa. We went to my first African Nation Cup. We played the final against Cameroon, and we lose at the final. We lost the final and penalty, and I missed the penalty as well. We have something similar. all big players have to miss it. Maradona. I'm sure George missed one as well. And like what they say, the best thing is about like for us. And each players have to know the ambassador for the country and for Africa, for the continent. Like when we play against France in the World Cup, I just want to show the whole people, because on that time we played against France. Maybe somewhere in the world they don't know where Senegalese is, and we have to put on the map where Senegal is on that day. Is one day with one game, the opening game against who? Against the world champion and the European champion, And I say, as a young man like me, I got the good opportunity. I'm blessing to play that game. I have to show Zinedine Zidane where Hadj Diouf coming from. That's it.
That's it. And now Senegal had to win against Egypt in the African Cup, and then you had to play them a game for the qualification to the World Cup. How was it?
Like what you say, Senegal is a good inspiration today. Our team, our management is a good inspiration today in the world and in Africa and in the continent. Because before, they just, everyone want to just have a coach coming from Europe. And today we have Aliou Cissé as a coach. He used to be our captain. I'm the team manager. Lamine Diatta, coordinator. Tony Silva, goalkeeping coach. And we have as well Cheikh Seck, our goalkeeper back in the day is on the team as well. We know with that we're gonna win, because Sadio Mane is a very good player, but he got a lot of respect for what I did and for the country. And if you're asking Sadio Mane today, he tell you my inspiration is Hadj Diouf, and if I'm his inspiration, I have to be close to him, to talk to him, to help him. You understand me? And I think so. Liberia should to do that. And Ghana need Asamoah Gyan. You have to be, like I tell him, you have to be around these boys, because they listen to you and you can help them. You've been there already. And I think so. If we win this World Cup, we know we have this African nation. Maybe we're gonna win this World Cup. We never know. And I think so. All Africans. All team of Africa need to do the same thing like Senegal. We see today Mali did the same thing. Guinea, Cameroon, they did the same thing. And I think so. Not because they finished playing football, you don't use them anymore. We need everyone to win because we're winning by a one thing organization.
We need everyone to win because we win by one team organization. This is the OK conversation we have with us. Two former stars, football stars, one from Ghana, the baby jet Asamoah Gyan. We also have Hadj Diouf from Senegal. Let's go to Gyan. Gyan, I understand that you have written a book already?
Yeah, I've written a book which is about to be launched on the 30th of April, which is this month. You know, and a lot of dignitaries will be coming, and I've invited the king himself, the president of Liberia, Mr. George Weah. You know, and he has honored the invitation. You know, I've invited my other king who also look up to him. You know, when he was doing great in the World Cup, I was at school at that time. Hadj Diouf is here. He's going to grand occasion as well.
If he doesn't invite me as well, I go.
You know, and
that's we call family.
And all the legends, and also the special guest of honor is my President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Everybody will be coming.
What is the book about?
The title of the book is Legendary. You know, my name is Jan, and you know it's legendary in English. So using the Jan is legendary. You know, it's about my life. It's about how I started. You know, a lot of people see what they have to see in the media and everything, like a penalty shootout and all these things, but they don't know what was behind it. You know, so I want people to know how the Asamoah Gyan came about, how he started his life since he was born, the things he'd been through. You know, there were a lot of criticisms, there are a lot of scandals, there are a lot of things people say about me that they have nothing, they have no clue about it. You know, so on this day, when everybody read the book, everybody will gonna understand my part of the story, which is gonna inspire the young ones who are coming. You know, I think I'm the first player to write a book in my country. You know, so my family feel proud of me, my friends, they feel proud of me, my manager, everybody feel proud of me. You know, so I think this is gonna inspire others to also do it, because we read books. You know, we read different kind of books with people that we don't even know, but it inspires us. What of an icon who everybody knows, you know, to write a book.
And you also experimented with music.
Of course, you know, music has been my life also, you know, so that is why I wrote the book. So you're gonna see how the music thing came about.
Okay, let's see if we have something here on him very quickly before we take a few calls, because we're running out of time. The news people will soon be breathing down my neck. I hope they can give me a few more minutes. That would be so good. Okay, that doesn't seem to be coming forth. But let's take a few calls on 0777 700 995, 0555 995 995, 0777 700 995, 0555 995, the numbers to call. Let's start from right here. Welcome, let's hear you.
Good evening, Julius.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Maurice Sion. I call you from Clowertown.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
Let me say good evening to Hadj Diouf and Asamoah Gyan. Hadj, I follow you in 2002 and you used to be my favorite African player at that time. But there is this story in Liberia here that people say, is it true that you made a derogatory statement about Guinea, for which you never play against Guinea, in the Sali National of Guinea? Is that true, Diouf?
Okay, thanks so kindly. Welcome, let's hear you. What's your name?
Good evening, Julius.
Yeah.
And good evening to our legends. My name is Mama C. Cabral. Well, I called to welcome our legends to Liberia, and I just want to say thank you to them for coming to support their brother, a legend and inspiration. And I agree with them when they say President Weah is an inspiration. He is not just an inspiration to the footballers. He is an inspiration to the slum dwellers, because when you follow his life, you will come to realize how he grew up. To be to where he is, it took focus and courage. And that is why most slum dwellers in Liberia now are doing something better to be great like person than we are. So we say thank you to you guys for the support. You are most welcome to the land of liberty. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So kindly, let's take this one. Welcome. What's the name?
Hello,
Yeah.
David Kuti, my name.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me say many thanks to the two African football stars for their good comments about our president, especially on his football career. I just want to inform you, Mr. Jeh and Diouf in studio, that we too in Liberia are very proud of our president, his extraordinary record as a footballer. This is why we the Liberian people are building a monument for him. And we're going to construct a monument for him in honor of his good work as a footballer. So I just want to inform you about that. We are very proud of him as a footballer. He's an inspiration. Thank you very much for coming to Liberia. Welcome.
Okay, thanks so kindly, sir. Let's take more calls from right here. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's the name on the MTN line?
Julius.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Thank you, Julius. Andrew Murphy is my name. And I have the conversation live on speaker from the Australian Intellectual Line.
Go ahead.
You know, people are listening to your studio guests, and I'm excited this evening. Julius, did you hear how they call our president? They call him King here. You know, when we telling people this man will serve as president in the country, but anybody can just say anything to you today. He's someone who is respected in the outside world. Julius, when the Nigerians told us they need our president for them to give up Buhari, we're not talking.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you right there. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, Julius. Good afternoon to the studio guests. Good afternoon to Asamoah Gyan. This is Jamal Formula, and I'm calling you for the Boucher Corner Bell. Let me say, Asamoah Gyan, welcome to Liberia, and they say this is their home because we are all African as one. Unless he's calling, for his supporting our president, I'm going to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to Liberia and saying that he's here to support our president. And Asamoah Gyan, he's one of the players which I admire so much, even for a Portuguese and also for the time you were playing for his club. I want to say Asamoah Gyan free, and then the Portuguese, thank you very much for coming. And thank you.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's the name?
Thank you, Julius. Thank you. Oh, Julius, you have done a work more than well, you know. And let me commend our legend. Julius overwhelmed our brothers in Liberia. Look, I don't even know what to say. Julius, that's what we need, our African brothers.
What is your name?
This is the ZP anyway.
Okay.
Calling you from Kawa. That's what we need in Africa for our African brothers to make us proud. The two gentlemen and the others, they make Africa proud. And you see them sitting in their own country. No need for me to welcome them into Liberia because Africa is their own. And they are part of us. You see how they, look, now what we can always say, the prophet now respected in the womb. You see how they praising their brother, our president, and that what we need, and how we'll be praising them all around the world.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. The second to last one. I hope I can steal 5 minutes on the news team. Welcome. What's your name?
Julius, good evening. My name is Ishaka Sherry. I'm calling from Kaduna. Julius, you already asked Jan about the Luis Suarez handball, but I want to know, detailing into that, how, he had the pressure of sending not only Ghana but Africa to our first World Cup semi-final. So, can you really forgive Luis Suarez for denying a whole continent of 54 nations in the World Cup?
Okay. He will certainly answer that. Let's come to the orange oil. His line keeps going off. Let's take 2 more. Then we are done. We'll go back to our guests to wrap up with them. Welcome. What's her name? Okay, you went off as well. This orange line isn't behaving fairly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Julius. Thank you for bringing Hadj Diouf. Hadj Diouf, my favorite player for Liverpool at the time. I'm very happy to see the coach. My name is Eric Ogochibamu for looking at this event. Julius Jeh, you need to ask David Jeh why really happy to that benefit. The captain just can't say no because
semi-final.
You need to answer that question.
Okay. Oh, but the Melvin answer. How you want him to answer? He has answered. Okay. Thanks so kindly. This person says, "Good evening, please. What is it? Please say hi." Okay. Someone was asking a particular question. I said, "Why you always wearing the number 3 shirt?" Okay. So we come back to them. Okay, let's take one from the orange line that keeps going off. Welcome. What's her name? Yeah.
Let me say welcome to our international players video.
Thank you.
We welcome you all to Liberia, and then we hope that inspire your presence here. We mean well to the president. And also let me extend my deepest condolence to the guys who have lost their lives in 1988 April 14th. Having said that, you know, I have no question for those international players in studio. My question here is, what impact those players who have come to play the opening of this incredible part, what impact the president have on the livelihood of Liberia living for
But did they come for Liberians living in Bougainville? The boy came for the launch of the park. You say what impact they will have on them?
please, don't come here.
But I'm cutting you off. You asking a question. This is a cutting you off.
We are aware of our intelligence bureau that in fact vast money of taxpayer money are being spent on the coming.
Oh, didn't you listen to? Hold on. Didn't you listen to Asamoah Gyan saying that they pay their own plane ticket, they pay their own hotel bills?
I listen to David Cat. I listen to David Cat. I listen to all of them. But we are, please.
Oh, but well, my man, I beg you, be there. The man, you say you are saying that government spend money to bring them, right?
Yeah.
But the man just said that they bought their own plane ticket, pay for their hotel and all of that. Do you have any evidence to prove that they didn't do that? Are you saying that Asamoah Gyan is lying?
Thank you. Asamoah Gyan is still, and I am McLean right now.
No, but damn it, Mama, see you, man. Yeah, I don't gotta be sure we're gonna. Yeah, I was trying to give you the man. I did not even ask the man about plane ticket. The man was explaining how they came in, and he mentioned that they bought their own plane ticket. And then before I said, "You sure you bought your own plane ticket?" He said, "Yes." Yeah. They bought their plane ticket and paid their hotel bills. That's why he said, if you have any other evidence, then you can produce that. But we'll go back to our guests. News has to come up. So as you try to respond to the questions, I'm also seeking your advice on how Liberian football can improve. It has been a challenge, a very serious challenge to even qualify for the continental tournaments. It has been really difficult to even find some of our players out there. Like you see the Ghanaians and Nigerians and Senegalese. It's quite difficult. So you can add that to your responses.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a generational thing, and for me, they have to limit the expectations of the country. You know, look at this African Cup of Nations. Look at a country like Comoros. You know, that was their first time being to the African Cup of Nations. Look at how they are playing football. And I think for me, when you start from the grassroots again and then try to build up, I think you're gonna get to that far, because I have played Liberia before, and I saw the quality of the players they have. You know, I know some of the players are outside the country. You know, some of the players are playing different places. And I think when we just take our time and then make sure we start everything to limit the expectations and build the team from scratch, I think Liberia will get to somewhere, because naturally Liberia has got some quality players that can prove themselves and make sure they can do better in Africa.
Okay. Do you want to come in?
Well, like what Asamoah was saying right now, if you're working around, definitely you're gonna find some unbelievable player here. Just like what I say before, you have to, your political sport have to be done by academies. If you see today Senegal, we win the African Nation Cup, but each players start from most of the players they come from to the country and they was in the academy from Senegal, Generation Foot or Jambar, you know, good academies, and they have to start here. They have to start here playing, and the government have to help them a lot as well, because that have to come from the government as well. And I think so King George, and you cannot have a place like King George and say is only one in this country. No chance. You have, I know you have 1,000 and 1,000 million, then like King George. Just you have to research and go to organize some small games in each town and to find some good players and to take care of them as well. And after that, to take them to Europe, because they have to go to Europe to learn what high-level football means. Because if you see the team of Senegal today, we can play any football team in the world, because not because I'm Senegalese. Mendy for me is the best goalkeeper in the world. You have a Koulibaly and Abdoulaye Diallo.
Even though these few days he hasn't been so good.
Yeah, but some things
I'm a Chelsea fan, and I feel bad. Some of the goals he has conceded.
It's like strikers. You can score every time.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm sure we'll talk to you on Saturday again, because you will be at the sports park on Saturday for a game. So we're going to talk to you people again.
So I'd like to invite everybody to come and support the event. You know, it's a very, very important event for Liberians, all the people in Liberia. So I'm pleading to everybody to come support us, and then we make everybody happy. And then, of course, we are here to support our king, our president, our everything, you know, Mr. George Weah. So I'm inviting everybody.
Okay, thanks so kindly. That's how we go. Straightly over to news. Sorry to the news team, but that's how it is. We out.